Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited about this one here tonight on Sportswire Radio in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that our guest and NEW most certainly helped build here, Sportswire Radio. And boy, you might want to say this is the go home show in a way to NEW season finale. And where does the time go? It feels like literally a few weeks ago that the season just started, but yet we have a season finale, and we're going to talk a lot about in an unholy like way here. I'm not going to break out Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley singing Kiss Unholy, but I know we're going to talk a lot about the Unholy Now trilogy. You might want to say the last month and a half between Gabe Sayers and Jake Dvorak. You thought they couldn't top what happened at All Out War. You thought they couldn't top what happened at Star Clash 7. Wait until these guys have a no rope barbed wired match. Yeah, they're going to do that. And I'm going to talk about these guys have said they're going to fight forever, but are they? And are they going to walk out on their own 2 feet? Well, I'll talk about that. Plus, I might even have to bring up a list, or maybe I should say list, that our guest had, because last time we saw, well, our guest that was here, he came in and tried to provide some divine intervention to the man that was here, Joe Starr, who's always a star, but I don't know if it was the star that Joe Starr wanted to be here. We'll talk about that because, well, one of those names on Joe Starr's list, well, guess what? What a small world wrestling is. Our guest is going to wrestle that person at this little thing called Riot in the Ring, to which I almost think, instead of everybody talking about March Madness right now with college basketball, we might want to change it to June Madness, because the Riot in the Ring 2 has 40 wrestlers. I mean, at this point, maybe they should have went to 68, but we don't want to go that far because these poor guys and gals that are going to go out there, they eventually want to go out and start and finish the show. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about a name that's always brought up on Sportswire Radio that's rather controversial, and it's almost like say his name, he appears, and for whatever reason, our guest wants me to bring him up. Plus, I'll talk about what else is to come at season finale, plus who knows whatever else here. I know that the chat's ready for this one, but I know since our guest is here, even though he was here a few days ago and he was supposed to be here a couple of weeks ago, but it was a scheduling conflict. He wanted to put me through some tables. He wanted to put some thumbtacks in my mouth. He wanted to put one of those things, everybody almost look like Chinese noodles, but they're like squivels, and he wanted to put those in my head. Yes, he still does want to do that. Eventually, I will get that tattoo. I'll eventually get there. I'm a chicken. Yes, I know. I'm honest, at least, though, unlike some people that do come on this platform. But I will, however, have to give our guest that introduction, even though some people want to cover their ears. My guest last night on Sportswire Radio, Courtney Wood, pro wrestling commentator from Legit Alternative Wrestling. I didn't know if she was scared or just wanted to give me a standing ovation, but you want it. He may or may not want it. I don't know how his dog will react, but it is now time to give our guest that introduction in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, as I stated, the only platform where all wrestling matters. Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station. So let's get ready to rumble. So with wait for it. Further ado, here on the Sports Report. Number one. Sports Show. A man that has won the most championships of any Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer from one of the premier groups in all of wrestling, DHC. His name is simply put, Unholy, Unholy, he's Unholy, My friend, how are we doing?
I am doing fantastic, Tom. How are you?
I'm doing great. I did actually, for those that are wondering how I burst into that unholy, it actually is my own way of doing what the Kiss song Unholy is from the Revenge album. Yes, so we're not going to go and talk Kiss here because Jake Dvorak will then put thumbtacks in my mouth. He might have wanted to staple, let's just say, one of those, masks on my mouth after that introduction. But I did do that for all entertainment purposes. But it's good to see you. And a long time no see. I saw you Saturday. You tried to provide divine intervention for Joe Starr, but Joe Starr is an interesting guy. But how the hell are you?
I am doing fantastic. I don't think that I could talk to Joe Starr for like 5 weeks straight and he would actually gain some common sense. I created a list to bring to explain things to him a little bit. You want to hold off on that for a little bit for Joe. I'll keep him waiting, make him, stay, get those watch hours up. But I am doing very good. It looks like the chat is having a lot of fun so far.
Yeah, we'll get to them. I know other people want to talk. It was funny. My mother was like, I'm not watching your show tonight. I hope you enjoy your show. I'm like, okay, great. That means, you won't see some of the stuff that'll go on. But I appreciated the honesty there. But yeah, we have a big crowd tonight. I think a lot of people are excited to have you, especially after Saturday. Really, the last few shows on Sportswire have been kind of almost like the chat's done their own versions of the wave. We had Joe on Saturday. Il Drago was here Sunday. Courtney Wood yesterday. I have a clip on Facebook with her that had like 1,000+ views or something. So people seem to be interested in what's going on. But you know what? I'm good. You're right. I'm going to save Joe Starr for later on because there is a lot to talk about here. But I think I want to go into the nitty-gritty here, the meat and potatoes, you might want to say, and especially for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you, Mr. Unholy Jake Dvorak, most certainly alongside NEW helped build Sportswire Radio. What can we expect? And what I'd like to call the trilogy here of recent matches between you, Gabe Sayers, no rope, barbed wired match, NEW season finale this Saturday.
You can expect nothing but just pure violence, blood, barbed wire wrapped all around the ring, weapons laid in and out of the ring. You can expect just nothing but pure hatred. I mean, I have gained some respect for Gabe Sayers in our last match at Star Clash. However, we both know that we are two of the most violent, sick mother, you can use the censor, people that
you can say it. I'll just use the censor buttons. You want to say
okay.
I'll do it.
We are two of the sick motherfuckers here in the Northeast. And we are going one-on-one for this trilogy. We started at All Out War, we went to Star Clash, and now we are ending season 6 in the first ever no rope barbed wire match. So you can expect blood, violence, whatever you can think of, it's going down this Saturday in that no rope barbed wire match between me and the Heartstopper Gabe Sayers.
You might literally stop his heart because after all, the both of you have said you'll fight forever, but I don't know how you can fight forever in a no rope barbed wire match. I had Courtney Wood yesterday, and she covers legit alternative wrestling. La El Shaddai, a bunch of Mickey Knuckles is a part of the company. Some really big names. When I mentioned your match with Gabe, even she was like, "Really? Huh? They're gonna do that?" So if she's saying that, and she watches some of the biggest out there in the world up close, like I said, La El Shaddai, Mickey Knuckles, Soul Taker, but even she kind of cringed at that thought. So I mean, this is the trilogy, but how are you going to be able to top what the two of you guys already did at All Out War and Star Clash?
I don't know how we're going to do it, but we definitely are going to do it because, I mean, we're going not only to steal the show, we're going out there to beat the hell out of each other. We're going out there to make an impact, make a statement, find out who the better man really is. And even if I win this one, if he wins this one, it doesn't matter because, like you brought up, we are going to fight forever. Where he goes, I will be right behind following. We fought in Connecticut. We fought in Massachusetts. Hell, I mean, if the Iowa boys wants to,
they're in the chat. I'm gonna get to
down out there. I'll throw them all across Iowa. Throw them in whatever lake they have down there. Throw them in the pond. Throw them down the corner. Wherever he goes, I will follow. We are destined to fight forever, and that's what we're going to do. So this Saturday, I'm just going out there to beat some ass.
Well, I'm gonna put the most recent match. We'll play with it. We'll talk about it, even though it's been a few weeks already. We've had a couple of different Vortex shows. You and him were opposite sides of the spectrum in the tag team title match that we crowned new tag team champions for. And I won't remind you what Kuma said and such, where Kuma went on and talked about nearly killing himself and talking about having the tag titles in front of you. I won't do that to you, but I mean, what have you learned from yourself in battling Gabe here these last several months? You know, you and Gabe, it's been, like you said, it's been a topic in the talk of Connecticut, certainly here in NEW, across the underground wrestling circuit, here on Sportswire these past several months. You and him have been frequent guests here. I've met the man himself, Gabe, in person, and he's practically responsible for you coming on here. It's about a year or so since you guys started coming on, and Gabe was the guy that said, you got to bring Jake Dvorak on. You got to bring NEW. Trust me. All right. But really, what have you learned from yourself then in these last few months in battling Gabe to go into Saturday?
I learned that facing Gabe Sayers brings out probably the best in me. I mean, there's a few select people out there that I feel like gets the best version of Jake Dvorak. And I feel like every time me and Gabe Sayers steps in that ring, even other, he brings out a different side of Jake Dvorak, a more violent side, you can say. I mean, you think about all the stuff that we've done, skewers, barbed wire, attacks, everything, name it, we've done it. And
Stapling
he's one
each
of those
other,
people.
items. Yeah.
Yep, he just brings out the best in me. And I look forward to being the one to stop Gabe Sayers from wrestling. I mean, he's working on a limited time. It's only a few years until his new heart stops working, and then I will be the victor.
But if you think about it, Gabe talked about the battles you've had. He talked about kind of the same thing, the different places he's gone around in different federations. But in some ways, what's ironic about this feud is that while you guys, I think, are different in many ways, you're yet similar. Sure, Gabe has been in the main event of places like GTS. He's traveled to other places that very few people have gone to. Maybe he would regret going to one place. I'll leave that at that. But I mean, he's definitely been a guy that your average wrestling fan may know him in some way. But yet, I kind of feel you guys are similar in the fact that you'll do anything to put your bodies on the line, to go out there and put the best show out possible, steal the show. That's what you do. You just steal the show. You were Mr. Born to Battle. You were the best on the card. And in a lot of ways, while you guys may have been different to get to this journey, to get to Saturday, I think you guys have a lot more in common than maybe would meets the eye. What's your thoughts on that?
I completely agree. I mean, here's the thing. You don't see a lot of people on the NEW roster that goes out there willingly puts their body through hell week after week. And Gabe Sayers is one of the select few people that has ever stepped foot in an NEW ring week in and week out, show in and show out, that is willing to go the same lengths that I do. Tyson Spade, Joe Starr, Power Surge, they've all done hardcore stuff. But when you think about the hardcore wrestlers in NEW, the two that you think of is easily Jake Dvorak and Gabe Sayers.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think that what Gabe has done with Mikey Anarchy, certainly outside of what you have done just with so many people, I think about the Riot in the Ring. I think about the All Wrestling Matters hardcore tournament. I also think what you've done here in NEW, whether it's just with DHC, whether it's obviously Justin Abel saying, I mean, it's a long list of people that you've been out there with. I think that there's no question when I think of hardcore wrestling in this company, you and Gabe are here. That's why this picture is kind of so fitting here, that you guys are going to do this here one more time, one more time in the trilogy and such.
Yep.
It's fitting.
Yep. No, I completely agree. And I look forward to staying on the show once more. I mean, we opened the show at Star Clash and it was one hell of a fight. I mean, it went all the way outside of the arena. I
know. You guys went like outside the NEW arena. Was that a first? I hadn't seen that in recent memory. Maybe you know better than me, but
there was one other time where I actually did the same thing with AX, but I didn't bring him across the street. Me and him walked outside of the gate. I brought him to the front yard for a few minutes. But this was the first time that we crossed the street. I threw him into his own car, smashed him up. Then on the way back, the car actually stopped for me, dragging Gabe Sayers across the street. That's why you'll see me wave, because the car was watching that. So shout out to them for not running me over.
Well, you know what? I see some of the Iowa faithful are here. I would say that they would have liked to have done that when they had some, let's just say, unruly fan decide for whatever reason they were going to interrupt an Ox McCoy match, which I won't ask you opinions on that, but I would say that certainly Mr. McCoy, if he wasn't a family man, according to Iladrago, probably would have liked to have taken that individual that, for whatever reason, decided to interfere in his match and probably put him into traffic that was moving. But I'll leave that at that. But I will say, before I transition and make the hockey line change to the NEW YouTube channel, we're only 3 followers away from 900. So if you're here and I see a bunch of people on YouTube, do me a favor. Go hit the follow button for NEW. They're at 900 followers, just 3 away from that. So let's get them to 900 tonight. I see we're at 897. So if for whatever reason you haven't followed NEW, now is the time to give them a follow. You stay up to date with them on all the great stuff that they have been killing here these last 8 or 9 months. It's a company that's just, they put out banger after banger, figuratively and literally. I mean, literally, they do that. That's why they are NEW, and they are certainly going to change the game. I have no doubt with their season finale. I was talking with different people in the locker room the last few days. Everybody's excited about what's to come this Saturday. I'm going to be there in the chat. I've been in most of the chats the last few months. It's great. I wake up 12 o'clock, I'm groggy, and then I sit in the chat and watch NEW, and then I decide to figure out what I'm going to do the rest of the day, and then I figure it out, and then I watch NEW first. So please go out there, hit the follow button. We'd appreciate that. I'm going to get to everybody here in the chat in a few minutes. Okay, let me ask you one more question on Gabe Sayers here. Season finale. This has got to make this even more important because it's the season finale. This is it. People are going to remember what happens here. They're not going to remember what you did to him at Star Clash 7 to open the show. They're not going to remember what he did to you with the All Out War. It's the season finale. So even though there's not a championship on the line, doesn't it put more on the line because this is it? This is the season finale. What's your thoughts on that? Well, I put the last match you two had on the screen.
Completely agree. There is a lot of pressure. In fact, I think going into this finale, everybody has pressure put on them. But you're talking about the end of what could be the end of the trilogy of the Fight Forever movement between Gabe Sayers and Jake Dvorak. You have the first ever no-rope barbed wire match in NEW's history. That alone, that doesn't need a title to be prestigious. This is going down in history. One of us will walk out and be in the history books of the first ever no-rope barbed wire match winner. And there's been a lot of things that I've done in my career since I've started wrestling back in 2008, and I will be very upset if my name isn't announced as the winner of this match. So Gabe Sayers, if you're listening, and I hope you are.
Well, I should say it. I shouldn't say it, but I am going to say it, that Mr. Sayers messaged me on Instagram and said that he's tuning in from somewhere. That's all he said. He's tuning in. So
he'll watch this. He'll listen to me. He's going to have to kill me. He will have to cripple me. He will have to do everything he can to stop me, because at the season 6 finale, I am not holding back. I want him to bring out the 5-star version of Gabe Sayers. I want the Death Wish version of Gabe Sayers. That way, if I beat him, there is no excuses. There is no complaints. I can say that I beat Gabe Sayers at his very best. So whatever he has to do from now until Saturday, he better prepare. He better be looking and studying tape, because I am doing the same thing. I am making sure I go in there to put an end to Gabe Sayers. And then, hey, who knows? Maybe by next time TF Crew show happens, I'll be the new TF Crew Tomorrow's End champion.
Well, we're gonna definitely get to that in a little while. We're gonna definitely get to that.
Hear that said one more time. It's the TF Crew Tomorrow's End champion.
Yeah, Joe's here in the chat. Joe, I hope he hears that. And Joe's here in a few weeks. So Joe, I hope you get the title name right. We'll put the poster up for that in a little while. And yeah, I hope there will be a TF Cruz show very soon. And especially as somebody that donates to the TF Cruz shows regularly. But let me ask you, though, something. You said something really interesting. And again, this kind of came up in yesterday's show with Courtney Wood. Like I said, she covers Mickey Knuckles, Lyle Shaddai, people that are really respected, and they're known across all of independent wrestling, Kings and Queens magazine. But you said you're going to study tape. You're going to go out there and study between now and Saturday. But no real barbed wire match. So how do you study and prepare for this? I know it's a cliche thing. I know I ask you. You've been here a million times over the last year. I know everybody comes on here. I ask the same question I've been asking for almost 5 years. I've been doing wrestling coverage. Well, how do you prepare for a match like this? But no, seriously. How do you prepare for a no rope barbed wire match? And what are you watching to prepare for this? I think that's a question all of us in the chat would like to know.
Well, I'm watching that old school Mick Foley, that old school Terry Funk, Sabu, all the greats of hardcore wrestling. I'm watching Gabe Sayers and UWF because if I want the Death Wish, I don't have to watch this washed down version of the Heartstopper. I want that violent in UWF. So I'm going back to watch how violent this jabroni can actually be. I'm going back to watching All Out War to see the mistakes that I made to make sure I don't make the same mistakes again.
Oh, so you are going back and at least watching the two most recent matches. You're watching stuff that the two of you have been involved in Connecticut, where you showed up and obviously introduced yourself to them, and then you're watching other wrestlers' footage to prepare for something like this. So that's what you're doing, and obviously we're watching you here at Star Class 7. And for whatever reason, if you haven't yet, go to the NEW YouTube page. I will put the link up here in a few minutes for. I know the chat is dying to talk to you, and I know we're going to get to them. Thank you so much, everybody here, for tuning in. We've got a great crowd tonight. I appreciate all of you here, but we're watching Gabe Sayers and Jake Dvorak. How fitting they opened up the historic NEW Star Class 7 show. And get this, ladies and gentlemen, their show drew almost 1,500 views, over 40 plus likes. Congratulations to the company. The company has definitely grinded their way to where they are today. Let's support those who support us. If you can, go to their Patreon page. It's in their Instagram page. I'm sure Jake forgets this. I actually subscribe to the Patreon page. I give him the $5 a month. I just give it to him. You know what? So Rhea Silver doesn't hit me over the head with a kendo stick. She wanted me to take your cigar and put it on my head. At least I do that. I see Justin Abel saying is here. Tyson Spade, the deranged one. So I figured, let me just give you the $5. You can have it. I won't check the spoilers. Just have it on me. And maybe you'll buy a cigar if it's worth that. But all right. So we'll talk about this you're welcome. But we'll talk about this here for a few minutes and such. But I mean, you've had a lot of opponents in your career. Where does Gabe rank in terms of your all-time opponents?
He's definitely top 5, easily top 5. I mean, he's up there with the likes of Power Surge.
I knew that.
With like the likes of Rhea Silver. I mean, if you're talking about just going out there and being violent, he's probably number 2, because the only one that dared to do the same stuff that I did, well, if you're not counting Tyson Spade, but Power Surge, Tyson Spade and Gabe Sayers, they went out there, went to hell and back with me. But top 3 people definitely step in the ring with doing hardcore matches, Gabe Sayers. But yeah, one of my favorite opponents, one of my favorite people to beat up, one of my favorite people to make him bleed, hit him with barbed wire attacks, crutches, you name it, I'll hit him, because sometimes he's just that damn annoying. But yeah.
Well, I mean, I could certainly see why that Gabe is ranked as high as he is here. And there you go. I guess maybe as a preparation for this Saturday, a barbed wired crutch. Now, I'm not quite sure if I've seen that before. I'm sure somebody will correct me, but there you go. And Gabe is definitely going to feel some of those scabs. And I guess you can't give Love a bad name, but you can certainly give his head a bad scar here with that, or a bad scab wound with that. You might want to add.
Well, fun fact, that barbed wire crutch is the same one that I've been using since Riot in the Ring 1. So that's been through hell and back with me.
Oh, well, we're going to talk about the Riot in the Ring too. I'm very excited to talk about the Riot in the Ring too. We're going to definitely do that here. I'll put the match up here for a few more minutes. We'll go through it and we'll definitely get to the chat. I know the chat is dying to talk to you, so I'll get to them here in a few minutes. But let me ask you though this question when it comes to Gabe and a match like this one, especially after going through this. Is there any concern about your body and what your body is going to be going through this Saturday?
There is and there isn't. I mean, at this point, I'm used to going out there, putting my body on the line. I love to do what I do. I love to get hardcore. I love to bleed. I love to make people bleed. At the end of the day, it's just another match. It's just another day for me to go out there and do what I enjoy to do and do what I do best. So, not really.
Okay, well, I'm sure you'll have some surprise objects there, and I thought it was clever that you had the Dunkin' Donuts Munchkins bucket there, and you took some stuff there out of it, which I thought was clever. Get it, Massachusetts Dunkin' Donuts. I thought that was pretty clever. My nieces had Dunkin' Donuts yesterday for St. Patrick's Day. They make the green donuts, but they're in bed right now because they probably had too many of them yesterday, but that's okay. But they're not watching, and nor should they, especially after what you're going to do to Gabe Sayers here. But I mean, yeah, well, I guess that I would expect, though, again, without giving it away, I would expect we'll see some different objects or different surprises this Saturday for the chat to watch. That I would be sure of, I would imagine.
Oh, there's going to be some fun barbed wire toys that we have there, some unique structures, some of the stuff that you've seen already, but it's going to be a fun time. There's going to be a lot of new things that we're going to put each other through, so definitely stay tuned for that.
Yeah, well, we're going to definitely do that here. I fast forward a little bit because I know that a lot of people want to talk to you, but I did want to put the match up till we get to the finish because you did get a victory here on Mr. Sayers. And I'm sure knowing that he's watching, because he told me, by the way, that he was watching. He's like, I'm going to tune into this one. I'm like, oh, okay, well, your name's going to be mentioned like pretty much throughout the first, I don't know, 30 minutes of the episode. It would certainly be good for you to show up, but he's definitely trying his best here to, I guess he didn't ask for advice from Graham or didn't ask for advice from Jimmy Controversy and all of his other friends there in GTS that couldn't help him here in this.
Exactly. And it may just happen one more time at the season 6 finale. I mean, look at Star Clash. He had the upper hand walking into the match, winning the first one of the trilogy, and then Mr. Star Clash himself, Jake Dvorak, prevailed and picked up the dub. And you know what? If there's one person that can go out there and put on one hell of a show and then just come back the next event and do the same thing, it's Jake Dvorak.
Well, that's for sure. And, that's a good point from Tyson Spade. Where's the Dunkin' NEW sponsorship? Yeah, that's a great question. I'll try my best to get back to them on that. But obviously, Mr. Sayers is certainly trying his best toys and surprises. He's put some thumbtacks on the folding chair there, but you're obviously going to do your best to get the upper hand on him. And what you guys put each other through, like I said, in this match, I remember watching it in the chat, and I was like, I don't know how these guys were getting up afterwards, but we said the same thing at All Out War, what you two have been doing. I mean, really just, I will say this, and I'm very excited about Saturday's show. I'm looking forward to watching it live. I do think that you guys are a yin and a yang. You guys have kind of fed off each other. I think he's been that opponent for you this season that I think has gotten the best, from you. And it took you to a level. I mean, you've always been a tremendous talent regardless. You've always been a guy that certainly a lot of people know in the underground world. But what he's done really this season is he's raised the game. He's raised the game for you. He's raised the game for himself. And there's no question you guys, I think, really feed off each other well. And certainly you guys give each other some scabs or two. Let's just say you get
my eyelid. That's a fun.
I see that. Yeah. Well, let's
not forget that. I almost went blind because of that, man.
Well, you know what? If that was the case, I hope that Gabe will pay the insurance tab. But let's just say
with what money? With what money, Tom?
Well, he's going to probably ask me for the money. I mean, as everybody else does these days. Family members, wrestlers.
I get a small loan of $1,000.
Well, that. Well, let me think about it. But let's see how your eye feels after Saturday. But
true.
Yeah, but instead of you give love a bad name, you guys seem to give each other bad scabs or bad scars. But you guys you certainly do that there. And now you've given Gabe his own punishment there. Let's just say here comes the punishment. And yeah, that's going to definitely hurt there. And you give him a
You know,
nice little.
I'll try to say this as PG as possible. Gabe Sayers is used to things going that in that region, so it probably didn't hurt that much for him.
Well, yes, I think I sort of know what you're referring to, and there's a short out there with that. Yeah, he definitely has his own way of let's just say humoring himself and those that may watch him. But right now, as we're getting toward the finish of the match, you're not in a fun mood, and he seems to certainly, let's just say, like I said, not giving Love a bad name, but his head's got a bad name with plenty of marks on there that you gave him. So let's just say that it's not going to be slippery when wet. When there you go. Yep, that's the shot there. I almost watch every underground wrestling show and I wait for it. I was watching Mickey Vargas, the main event. Mickey Vargas beat Onyx, and we saw the shot there, and Mickey took it from Onyx. So everybody, I see it now. And Ox McCoy gets it, Omen Black gets it, and they're going to be here Thursday. So I'm on my best behavior right now. But Gabe got his, and definitely you gave it to him.
Well, fun fact of the day, the first time I used skewers was with Gabe Sayers at the All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Tournament. So ever since
was the first time? You didn't use it before in your career?
I'm pretty sure I never did until that match.
Wow, who would have guessed that? Boy, I'm speechless. You learn something new every day. The more you know, I guess. Those NBC commercials. But yeah, Gabe's objects there certainly took it. And yeah, that was different there. That was different. I mean, you could have went for the heart, and maybe that would have ended the match. Actually, I shouldn't say that because you might try it Saturday.
You never know. You never know. I won't say anything, any spoilers for you, Tom. I know.
Yeah, don't do that. I get a lot of people here in the chat. We don't want spoilers here. Although I have to tell you, and I think I said this on Saturday's show because I know Joe Starr's definitely here. When Joe said, "Hey Tom, I have a list. You want a sneak peek?" and I said, "Nah, Joe, let's do it live." And maybe then I should have looked at the spoilers and said, "Joe, let's take this off the list, that off the list." And I think even on Instagram there were people saying to Joe, you don't want that. And even on Facebook, like Torrance Banks was mentioning it also. There's a few people that commented it on Facebook. But yeah, that was one case where I should have looked at the spoilers. And I probably, for Joe's case, should have did that. But I can't help it. But
well, I was watching the show and I'm like, all right, someone needs to shut him up. So I'm like, let me on, Tom.
Yeah, well, a few people did, but we'll get to that. We'll watch the end of the match here. We'll get to everybody here in the chat. I promise you. And if you are here, we're here with Jake Dvorak, the unholy Jake Dvorak, who's going to be in action here coming up this Saturday. NEW season finale. It's 12 o'clock Eastern time. That's it, 12 o'clock Eastern time. So they did it for you. It's not too early, not too late. So if you want to sleep in, you want to go out there and go for a run. The weather's getting nicer. Spring's in the air. Come out, hang out with the guys and gals. They'll have a big chat. They have a slew of great matches. D Savage is defending the NEW Undisputed Championship against Justin Abel saying, and boy, did they get personal quick. We got Joe Starr and Power Surge, who Joe Starr should have had him on his list. Let's not even bring up Tyson Spade and Leonidas. I mean, there is so many great matches here, and certainly Gabe Sayers. And Gabe Sayers is going to be right there with that. And Gabe Sayers, let's just say, he definitely met a trash can there that he's going to remember that until this Saturday. And you've definitely got him there. So definitely you give Love a bad name there. But you got a victory and you score one. And it was an unholy-like victory. And congratulations on that. Gabe Sayers can go back to the drawing board. Maybe he'll go. I'll tell you what he's going to do. You know what? Before I get to the chat, I know exactly what Gabe Sayers is going to do between now and Saturday. You're going to chuckle. He's going to sit there. No, he's not going to watch this match. He's not going to watch some of the stuff you've done back and forth in NEW and TF Crew. He's going to sit on his other YouTube channel and make NFL videos about like one-hit wonder wide receivers, one-hit wonder quarterbacks. I'm telling you, he's not going to do that. He's going to do the reverse psychology tactic. He's not going to talk to Paul Roma and Mario Mancini, who's helping him train there in the PAW facility over there, or TF Crew house their shows. No, he's going to sit there and watch like 1998 NFL quarterbacks that played like 2 games. So that's going to be, for whatever reason, what he thinks is going to help him get the victory. But we'll have to find out. But you gave him a nod. But let's say let's take this off the screen finally. And yeah, Gabe can may have to change his death row record shirt because he literally might be dealing with death row, and he might need divine intervention to keep what's his career going. But if you are here, let me formally put the YouTube link up. I got a lot of people here. Thank you so much for tuning in. That's NEW's YouTube link. Check them out. Give them a sub. If you haven't, I have no idea why you wouldn't. They're almost at 2,300 subscribers. So do me a favor. If you're here in the chat for the first time, I see over 20 people on YouTube. We're at 2,290 something subs. Give them a sub. That'll put them to 2,300. If they need 2 or 3, have 2 or 3 of your friends give a sub, and that's how you can get the notifications to this Saturday afternoon show. So it's time to get to the chat. They've been waiting patiently. Let me do it because, well, that's what they're waiting for, and this is the platform that they want to hear their say. So I got a lot of comments. Where do I begin? Well, ironically enough, it's not Zilla. Zilla's not first. The man that I'm sure will have plenty to be talked about here in a little while, Mr. Joe Starr. Well. Look who it is that's on today's show. By the way, good evening. Didn't say good evening to you, though. What do you say on that?
Spoiled little brat. I mean, what more can you say? I'm always here being nice to him, and then, well, I had to teach him some tough love last week. I mean, I had to save the show. I had to bring the viewership on. I mean, look at how much people's here today.
Well, you saved him from going into, yesteryear's people that would come on here, but that's okay. I like Joe.
Yeah, yes. Hey, you know what? At this point, he might as well move to Tennessee, Texas, Wisconsin. I don't know.
No, don't say that. I like Joe. No, I got Joe. I got your back, Joe. You're all right with me, Joe. Joe, you are our Northeast champion. I still don't understand why you had as big a list as you did, and I still don't understand why you didn't have Power Surge on it. But I like you, Joe. You're right up there with the next man that's in the chat, Mr. Sean Jovi, who I saw the other day meet Jimmy Hart and Hulk Hogan. I was interested in Sean Jovi's photo, not so much the other two. I'm only kidding. Well, maybe half kidding. But he does say, sup, dudes. He's going to be here Thursday. Very excited about that. Another guy that you're going to be seeing here in a few months, Mr. Ox McCoy, who had his own problems with fans. And that was the man we were talking about earlier. And he says hello. And he would definitely be tuned into this one. And management would like to say hello to you. Anything you want to say to management? No? All right, we'll move on.
Give me a title.
Oh, you know what? We'll put you in the Hall of Fame again or something. Yep, Zilla's here. She's here. She's finally here. Zilla was first. Sometimes she's not first lately. Tyson Spade's very ready for this one. Yeah, it's going to be a good one tonight. This is going to be a good one. I got a good feeling about this one. We're already having a great chat. Thank you. Yep, hello to Zilla. Hello. Joe's ready to talk that smack. Yeah, I mean, well, stay tuned. Thank you. He and I were talking a couple of days ago about this episode. We were talking about it, and he wants this episode of Joe Stars to go into the Hall of Fame. Well, maybe when Joe comes on next time. So yeah, that's a good idea, but I can't do it now with Jake is here. It's his segment. I want to say hello to my friend here from the friendly confines of Pennsylvania via New York. She's got some new music. I appreciate her very much. Let me put up her Instagram page. She's got a couple of new songs out there. And let's just say she's not going to be writing You Give Love a Bad Name, but maybe she'll make Gabe Sayers' heart stop as she makes most of the guys' heart stop. But you can check her out on Instagram. Do me a favor. She's got some new music out there. She's got rather a Linkin Park-like single, and she's got a couple of different stuff out there. So check it out. That's her page. And she's got a lot of followers, and go out there and join her. And she likes tuning into the show. She's a big wrestling fan. Thank you, Athena, and hope you're enjoying the show. Let's see who else we got here. Yeah, Joe Starr is saying hello. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Good evening. Who might know is Bren. You all need to hire a translator or get your closed caption on. Well, some people, and this is not my opinion, Mr. Dvorak, have said Joe needs a translator. I can hear him very well, though. He speaks great with me. But some people have said Joe needs a translator, but I'm not going there. Because I respect Puerto Rico, and I love Puerto Rico. Because we had Savio Vega on here, and Joe Starr is working his way up. He's working his way up the ladder, so I'm not going to go there. But Joe Starr went there. My buddy Remy Roberts from the friendly confines of Louisiana, the Cajun Cruiser, wanted to say what's up. Remy's become a frequent participant on Sportswire Radio. And speaking of people, now this is a good time to actually ask you about this guy, because this guy who James Taylor says looks like he was the character from the Terminator movies. Now he looks like David Spade. He does karaoke. He DJs. He hosts Jeopardy trivia night. I mean, Other than that, he wrestles apparently. But now I understand he's wrestling in the Riot in the Ring. The Riot in the Ring 2 coming up. And I was wondering, sir, what's your thoughts on it looks like you're going to meet Justin Parsley, or is he one of the guys that you think that won't show up?
Do you want my honesty?
With this guy, yeah, you can be honest with him. Yeah, definitely be honest with him.
It's a 50-50.
Well, I guess he's gonna have to ask me for the checkbook, but that's okay. No, we're only goofing. But
there might be somebody else that might need the checkbook too.
Oh, I know who that is. But I know him very well. But he did want to say he says hi to himself though. He didn't say hi to you, this fellow. And I mean, look at his photo. It's almost like he's flipping off the NEW audience. What a way to introduce yourself to Massachusetts. And he's flipping the bird. I mean, boy, this maybe James Taylor is onto something, and I just missed it. But this fellow, I mean, just I would think say hello to everybody in Massachusetts. But no, he's just got the bird out there.
Yeah, he looks like a creator wrestler, so I mean, doesn't surprise me. Generic pose, generic hair.
Well, there's somebody on Instagram that has been tagging me when his name comes up and for the IMF shows, and I didn't know who it was, and then he said, well, it's related to I think Soldier or somebody, and it was just random like messaging me, some kid, and I'm like, well, why is some kid messaging me? And then he explained it to me. So maybe there are people creating a Justin Parsley, but he's here. I guess you might want to say in that picture. I'm sure I'll see him here Thursday night. He won't be a figment of my imagination because he'll be at the King of Palo show trying to get some gold. He is the King of Palo winner, and he's also the PWF champion, but we'll take him off the screen. Kyle Shelby wanted to say hello. I'm going to just say hello, and oh, thank you for that. Joe is a simp. Thank you. I think, but hello, Rhea. How you doing, Kyle? Will my intro last longer than Kuma's? That's a good question. How long is Kuma's is timed? Have we timed Kuma's intros yet? Especially now that he's got tag team championship goal. Let's not give any ideas, right?
Listen, it's not short enough. It's 2 minutes too long. By the time he gets to the ring, I'm sure people in the crowd are saying, "Wrap it up," talking about the match. Get in, get out.
My only defense with mine is that I can say, well, if anybody says, well, my intro is too long, I can still say, though, Rhino is on the record of saying he liked it. Savio Vega said he liked it. And Doug Pinnock of King's X, who just opened up for Tools, said basically, yeah, that was different and gave me advice and talked about Metallica James Hetfield, who we knew, and how his voice changed over these long intros and what would happen to mine. So I can at least say that. I don't quite think Kuma has 3 names that have endorsed the intro like that. But who knows? Maybe I'm missing something. Yep. How you doing, Kyle? How you doing, Remy? Kick rocks Parsley. So I figured that because of the House of Wolves and Foundation thing, I figured that would come up. Who else we have here in the chat? Yeah, we're not going to go there. Joe Starr's list is in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, it's going to be in the Hall of Fame, his next appearance in a few weeks. Yeah, we'll put Joe in the Hall of Fame with the list. Thank you for that. That was a good suggestion. Thank you for tuning in and always giving me some good suggestions. Yeah, we're going to go there. Yeah, that's a whole thing. Yeah, we're not going there, and I know that's going to be on Thursday's show in the chat. They're all going to talk about that. Hello there. Yep, everybody's catching up with each other. Okay. We're not going to go there with that, but did you enjoy the cigar? Let's just stay on message. Did you enjoy the cigar?
Of course. And that, Brent says that because he can't stop thinking about the thing that he uses all day anyways. So
I'm going to leave that at that. Thank you. Thank you very much. We have Randy Jackson of Zebra on Friday. We just had Alpha Zo, who was in Ring of Honor last week. We're going to say, you do what you want to do.
I didn't say the word. I
got that, but I just want to make sure that, you do what you want to do, and God bless America. Look at Jake being such a heel and smoking. Well, I didn't think it was really that much of a heel move. Greetings, Jacob Lakavation. I don't even know what that is, but greetings. Yeah, whoever that might be. Hits notes only dogs can hear. Well, I have dead people across the street. Well, maybe they'll be sleeping with the dogs. Well, they are already. What if the mic? Actually, I have had the mic break a few times on here, the USB cable. So that's close enough. That's actually a good question answered. And Jake Dvorak sure is one hot smoker. So Sean Jovi's maybe eyeing you. He's eyeing you. He's eyeing you. Speaking of the eyes, Soldier GP there with a man who I'll get to him. Oh, I'll get to him. I mentioned that earlier. And for whatever reason, management is tuned in to say this. I'm being forced to let Mr. Dvorak know that the IMF World Heavyweight Champion wants to come on and offer a proposition involving the riot in the ring. I'm just a janitor. I don't know why I'm being threatened by him. Now, if that's the case in a little while, I mean, would you want to meet the IMF World Heavyweight Champion who is Omen Black? He's the leader of the House of Bulls. I mean, this is your moment. I don't want, I've seen guys here in the past that turn to Omen Black and see him and they never come back or they can't talk again on here. So I don't want to do anything, sir, that you don't want to do. So I'll certainly go by your good judgment.
Yeah, you know what? I like Omen Black, at least as of right now anyway, so we can...
Oh, we'll get to him in a little while. I'll tell you what. Well, if he wants to come on, it's his show. I'll bring him on in a little while. We're not going to talk about that guy's name. So obviously somebody's having fun. We're going to move on at that. I saw, and by the way, somebody told me that the Omen Black, the IMF World Champion, was on some podcast with a guy that looked like him and a few other characters. And I was like, yeah, God bless America. We're going to move on from that. Anyone invent the teleporter yet? I want to be at the riot in the ring still. Well,
yeah, Sean, it's called either a plane or a car, and that's how you can come here for a ride in the ring. I know things is preventing you from showing up, but if you're able to show up to NEW whenever down the road, as long as it's within the next year or two, I guess, how filming is,
sure.
More than welcome to come by. But hey, who knows? Maybe there'll be a ride in the ring 3.
Well, I'm gonna get to that. I got a lot of people here in the chat. Let me get to them. Well, stay tuned. Who knows? Never say never, to quote James Taylor. We're gonna move on from that. Please, let's move on from that. I'd say you're about okay. Thank you for that. Jake is a hardcore icon in the underground world. He is king. Okay, that's good stuff. I agree. Kyle's 27. That's great. I'm happy at 27. Good age. Christopher Black, who was a topic in Joe Starr's list. I still don't know why Joe Starr had the list he had. We're going to get to that in a few minutes. Okay, let's move on here. Christopher does love a Gabe Sayers beatdown, a good Gabe Sayers beatdown, and you're going to get that this Saturday. You're going to get that this Saturday between Jake Dvorak and Gabe Sayers. And okay, let's move on here. Let's move on. Thank you. Comatose. Chess holds its master in its own bonds, shaking the mind and brain, so that the inner freedom of the very strongest must suffer. When the game is over, the king and pawn go into the same box. Okay, clever words. I'm thinking it's involving something. He did share our link on Instagram, and
I'll have whatever he's having.
I'm gonna say thank you. I don't quite know what it is, but maybe I'll read it later in the chat to be rather, I guess, figured out. I don't know. I'm at a loss of words myself. There you go. The dog went into hibernation. Yeah, okay. Somebody here is changing their profile a bit. Let's move on. Yeah, Comatose is okay. I think he's okay. Yeah, and I do hardcore. Joe was just in the match. Yeah, we still don't know. Listen, Joe Starr. I think we're gonna get to Joe Starr. I've never been better, Kyle. Good. I'm glad to hear that. And Joe Starr beat Tyson Spade in that match, but Tyson Spade pinned Joe Starr in the briefcase match there to be the number 1 contender, which Kuma won. Yeah, did Comatose get his channel back? He'll respond and let us know. Instagram, let's get to 900 followers. If we haven't yet, please go out and follow NEW. That would be great. He never got it back. He has an idea. Okay, so from now on, the channel is the new main channel. Okay, wish you a lot of luck. Justin Abel Sane. And interesting, Justin Abel Sane is going to be wrestling D Savage in an I Quit match, and the loser quits NEW for good. So you want Savage to retain and Justin Abel Sane to be, well, saying the words I quit and also I quit NEW permanently. And how do you feel about that?
Listen, if one of those jabronis leaves, I'm happy. In fact, there's an opportunity for 2 of people that I don't really care for a part of the roster able to get out of here too. So you know what? I think Saturday, win or lose my match, I think I'm gonna be a happy on Saturday either way.
But
people, yeah, more opportunities, and I've been waiting and wanting some gold. And whether I have to venture out to TF Crew, maybe I'll just get it there.
Well, but I will say that turned personal rather fast, right? That turned personal real fast. I mean,
listen, I've not forgotten about Power Surge. It's typical Power Surge. I betray him, and then all of a sudden he wants nothing to do with me. He doesn't come after me, fight me, or anything like that. He runs after Joe Starr, so afraid of facing Jake Dvorak that he puts his career on the line for no apparent reason. So, if you're scared of me, just go ahead and say it, Power Surge.
Well, I mean, I guess he figures Joe Starr after what Joe Starr did on Sportswire. And Joe Starr, I mean, did Joe Starr book Saturday's show? I was in the chat on Saturday, and it seemed like it was almost like one of those episodes on Nitro that Kevin Nash booked famously, where you saw like Kevin Nash in every segment. I mean, Joe Starr had to have had a record.
That actually brings me to my list for later on.
Let's do the list now. Let's get to the list because the chat, we've got halfway.
Okay.
Let's talk about the list now. Let's do it. I want
Do
to
you
hear
want my first, my second, third, or fourth list?
It's your show, sir. You could put thumbtacks in my mouth, so you can do whatever you want, sir.
Okay. This list, I created the name. It's called Things Why I'm Better Than Joe Starr. See? It says it right there.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's go for
Reason number 1. Don't worry, there's only 5.
No. I got all day.
Okay. Well, then in that case, I can make it 10. All right. Reason number 1, I can cut a promo.
No comment. I'm going to say no comment respectfully.
Reason number 2, I know how to wrestle.
I'm going to say no comment on that still.
Number 3, I have more money.
Well, according to, was it Savage, you said he works 4 hours a week. If that's true, yeah, you would have the money edge. If that is true.
Number 4, I know how to spell correctly.
Well, Joe does when he speaks sounds like he doesn't spell very right. So I'll give you that one. Give you
then
2.
Finally, my favorite one, the one that really just describes Joe Starr, the definition of Joe Starr, right? You know how you said, like, how is he on the latest episode so many times, right?
Yeah, I want to know.
Joe Starr swallows.
You know what? I'm gonna just say, Joe, God bless America, God bless Puerto Rico, and I'm gonna say nothing on that. But I hope that you enjoyed the list. I mean, I thought you would have had more names on the list. I thought you would have been here with more, but you went just to the point. You didn't even say anything about who you want to wrestle or dream matches or Joe, or just a Joe word. Well, I'm gonna meet them anyway, so why not?
I really want, there is about 50 to 100 people in the backyard in the underground community that I want to wrestle. Number 1, no, I'm not going to sit here and waste your time. You're
not wasting my time. We got a lot of people. You never waste my time. Nobody wastes my time.
Listen,
listen, let me tell you something. A few days ago, I think, I'm trying to think what show it was. It was Thursday night I went on, and it was a woman that called me for a constituent issue on double parking. You want to talk about wasting time? She wasted my time for 75 minutes on the phone, or going on and on and on. I'm like, okay, lady, I'll fix the issue for you. What can I do for you? And she went on in circles. That's the definition of wasting time. We're in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you helped build. So you're not wasting my time. So if you got something to say, you got more on the list, by all means, go for it.
Well, no, there was only 5. If you want, I could read them again in case Joe didn't understand me.
Yeah, read them again because Joe might need a refresher on it.
Right. Do it again. Joe Starr, Gabe Sayers. Actually, Gabe, this actually applies to you as well. So it's actually the reason why I'm better than Joe Starr and Gabe Sayers. Number 1, I can cut a promo. Number 2, I know how to wrestle. 3, I have more money. 4, I know how to spell correctly. And 5, Joe Starr, and I'll just write and Gabe Sayers swallows.
Well, Gabe actually has swallowed objects you've put into his mouth, which will go out and watch NEW's YouTube page. You'll explain that. As for Joe, Joe's here, and I think he's, swallowing the list that it was painful for him in that experience. But he'll get a Hall of Fame appearance out of it, so that's okay. My buddy, Mr. Darkron, a man that did suffer some pain on his birthday. He lost to Alex Cross in a DKW championship match of a company that was his, but he is here, and I'm not going to remind him of that because he's got his own problems with James Taylor and figuring out what's next for him. But he said, good to see you, and I love Mr. Darkron. You should be a guest, by the way, on his own podcast. He's doing this thing now, the Dark Chronicles, and he's watching people's matches, and he's got like 10 episodes apparently in the book. And I would think you'd be a great guest for that because you and Jake, obviously, Jake and Kron, and you guys could talk about your own experiences. You've obviously helped in being a part of the Riot in the Ring and the All Wrestling Matters hardcore tournament, him and Summer Bash. I think that Mr. Kron should reach out to you and maybe want to watch one of your matches. That's what he's doing. He's talking to people. He's sitting there watching the match with them, talking with them. Because, I know nothing about wrestling. I know nothing about this stuff. Clearly, I'm uninformed. And, I'm a dumbbell. And, Darkron, on the other hand, he knows this sport. He knows it. He wants to talk. He don't want to talk to me anymore. You should go onto his podcast on the DKW YouTube page, Dark Cryptic Wrestling, and you could talk with him about one of your matches. Maybe he can watch your match with Gabe Sayers that's going to take place here at season finale, and you can tell him just what you're going to do and what you did. I think that would be a good idea because you don't want to come on Sportswire. You're tired of dealing with me. You're tired of the intros. You're tired of my not so funny jokes. And, Darkron would be great for you to go on with.
Hey, here's the thing. I'm here to save Sportswire from Joe Starr, Ayers, and the list goes on. And so I'm sticking. But if Darkron wants me on, more than happy to. Reach out to me. I'm pretty sure I have friends on all my social media.
Yeah.
So
no, actually, he's mad at me because he said, Tom, the other day on Facebook, we were talking on Messenger, and he goes, I got, Tom, I appreciate you. You've been a friend for a long time, but you got me all these people to talk to, and I only got 10 episodes so far. I'll never be able to talk to them all, but too bad. But there you go. Yep, thank you, Kyle, for that. Let's hope Comatose is doing okay. Yep, won't forget it again since now it's going to be more interesting soon. Well, you just got more interesting. Thank you for that. Let's hope everybody's okay. NEW is definitely on the rise. Yep, that is absolutely true. And hit the sub button for them. Big people here. Yep, and Comatose, I agree with you on that. Jake is on Sportswire. Hell of a match. Hell of a show. Absolutely. Great stuff. This is what I mean, guys. These cats are this generation's icons. We got kids watching this. They're going to remember this forever. I agree. That crutch has traveled far. You definitely explain that. I love Dunkin'. So do I. Pumpkin spice, definitely good. I don't drink whatever that is, but it sounds good. Dunkin' sponsor, we agree. Dunkin' for sure hits. I'm a peppermint white mocha guy. That's a very good one. Our friends in Roseburg, Oregon want to say hello, BTW. It's the More You Never Know, the show with Jake Dvorak. I'm glad somebody caught the NBC reference. I'm destroying what I created. Leonidas won't survive this Saturday. What's your thoughts there between this deranged Tyson Spade, who just seems to be cutting on a whole new level? I mean, famously here on this platform, you were with him on Saturday. And what do you think there between him and Leonidas?
You know what? I'm proud of the kid. He's finally stepped up and stopped listening to these stupid fans that will switch on him like the freaking drop of a dime. He finally built up that anger. He's finally using that determination. And yeah, he didn't beat Joe Starr, but look at what he did to Joe Starr for all those months. But now he's going after Leonidas, the alpha, somebody that he knows very well. And you know what? I am rooting for Tyson Spade. I hope he wins this Saturday.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, again, another match that they're all main event matches, and NEW is definitely hitting its sweet spot right now, and please go out there and follow them. I have the Instagram link up. This is the YouTube link up. Please support them, and Zilla would like to say hello. Yep, we're all excited for BTW, and certainly NEW is here as well. Yep, everybody's doing the work. I appreciate that. We want to make sure everybody's doing that. My friend, if you were here, thank you, Athena, for providing us some music on your page. All Wrestling Matters, especially that championship. Yep. And by the way, another guy that's here, Cash Carter of Natural Selection. He is the ROEW Prestige Champion, and he's going to be showing up to the Riot in the Ring, too. And we're going to talk about that here in a few minutes because we're almost done with comments. But what do you think about Cash Carter showing up? A slew of ROEW guys are coming here, and I know that Mr. Savage had a few choice words for Jason Storm I saw in one of the posts recently. And just what's your thoughts on Cash Carter, the ROEW Prestige Company champion here, coming to the Riot in the Ring too?
I think it's a great opportunity, not only for him, but for us. I mean, if you look at the top federations on YouTube, the likes of ROEW, BTW, you think of NEW, you think of
IMF.
IMF, you think about like those top federations, and this is the first time that ROEW and NEW is going to be able to interact. And I think that's great. I think it's that great that we have Cash Carter, that we have Jacob Collins, we have people from IMF showing up. I mean, you have Felix Jones, Big Man Cam.
Big Man Cam, who was the ROEW champion, Justin Parsley, who was an ROEW and still is kind of an ROEW. I mean, so a lot of ROEW contingency is the first time that they're interacting with you guys. I think that's a really cool thing to see, that ROEW is going to be a huge part of the Riot in the Ring too. And they've been here on this platform for a long time. So I'm excited to see some of the people that have been coming here for a long time get a chance to meet you guys.
Likewise. I mean, there's a lot of people outside of ROEW that's coming through too that we're meeting for the first time. I mean, like the IMF guys, Omen Black, Soja GP, Ox McCoy. I mean, Obey is going to make his NEW debut.
Yeah, that one, Obey, is like on another level, man.
I mean, you just like look at all the talented wrestlers that's in the underground scene today coming to Riot in the Ring too. It is honestly one of the biggest super shows of all time. I mean, there's other super shows out there where, you know, it's relatively the same group of people that, you know, like really just show up, and that's no knock to it because that's still collaboration. But if you like really think about all the talent from everywhere coming to Riot in the Ring too, it's something that just doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I mean, you talk about 40 people in it. I mean, 40 people that are in this. I don't know if I've ever heard that many people involved in something like this. I mean, unless somebody can fact check me, but I think 40 people has got to be a first, right?
Yeah. And I would like to announce that actually on day one, there will actually be 15 matches, as we were able to secure 3 other wrestlers who are still waiting to be publicly announced.
Well, let's talk about your match here. I know there's a bunch of people here in the chat, but I'm going to let them hang on here for a few minutes. We've got through most of the chat, but you were wrestling a man that certainly has made quite a name for himself in this circuit, a man that has been doing this for a very long time. This is the definition of an OG. This is the definition of a legend, and that is the one and only Doc Holliday. You were wrestling him not just in the Riot in the Ring too, not just for a match, but you're wrestling him in a death match for the TF Crew Tomorrow's End Championship. And talk to me about this match. How excited are you for it? And just the opportunity to wrestle a man that won the Riot in the Ring last year, but also to wrestle a man that is one of the true definitions of a legend in Doc Holliday.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? I mean, it's an honor. It's Doc Holliday. It's somebody that's wrestled wherever you could think of. He's been there. He's a legend that's still in the underground community today. I mean, there's not a lot of his generation that's still out there wrestling in the underground scene today. And just to be able to step in the ring with someone like Doc Holliday it's just an honor. But I would like to say that I'm going out there to make a statement. Because if I beat Doc Holliday, that's somebody that you don't really see lose. In fact, in NEW, he has not lost any matches so far. He appeared back at Star Clash 5 and faced the Fallen, beat the Fallen, appeared at Riot in the Ring 1 when we had the tournament and went all the way to the finale and was the Riot in the Ring tournament winner. He walked out with like $100 worth medallion that just says, you know, that he's the Riot in the Ring winner. That's history right there. And I'm facing somebody that hasn't lost a match in NEW, and I'm facing him for his TF Crew Tomorrow's End Championship. TF Crew is somewhere that I just recently debuted within the last 6 months. And what better way for me to walk into the next show as the new TF Crew Tomorrow's End Champion. And with that being said, I can also say I beat Doc Holliday. I beat his undefeated streak at NEW. I mean, that's 3 big possibilities that I could walk out of this match calling myself or using to my resume. But I'm not going to take him lightly. I've seen what he could do. He's one of the very best out there, whether it's hardcore wrestling, whether it's just technical wrestling. I know that I'm in for a fight, and I'm looking very, very forward to this match.
Yeah, this is a guy that goes back to the GBYWN days. This is a guy that, Rad Dad, every time I've mentioned Doc Holliday to him off the air, it's almost like a twinkle is in his eyes. I mean, Doc Holliday is a man, it's unbelievable what he's been able to do in our circuit for as long as he has and what he's done here. Certainly last year winning the Riot in the Ring. And let me ask you though, what would it mean to be the TF Crew tomorrow's end champion? What would that mean to you?
You know what? Just picture it this. I walk into TF Crew as that champion. You see Gabe Sayers off to the side or just near the curtain with a look on his face as he hears my music, and then he has to call me the TF Crew tomorrow's end champion. And that's something that Gabe Sayers can't even call himself.
Wow.
I mean, think about it. I wasn't even legally a part of the roster when I interfered in his match with Jeff Nova at Death Row. And then I showed up and I was in one of the main events of their next show in a Tornado Tag Team Death
Which
match.
had a big crowd, and I am dying to talk about that. I am dying.
Even more than sold out. We actually made some room for more people to come in. So that just think about it. The third appearance of Jake Dvorak, I walk out as the TF Crew tomorrow's end title, and there is nothing that Gabe Sayers can do about it because this is an NEW show. He doesn't run TF Crew.
No.
How much prestige would I bring to that championship? How much eyes, how much attention would I bring to that title if I walked in with that TF Crew tomorrow's end championship? And there was nothing that Gabe Sayers could do.
I think there's a lot on the line, and considering that this is where you're going to see so many people may even never see each other again, and you're going to have a match that people are going to talk about this match 5, 10, 15 years. I see people in the chat talk about generations, and this is a generational match. This is a match between two different generations, you might want to say, at a show that's going to define our generation. We look back 2, 5, 10 years from now, whatever it might be, we're going to remember this show. We're going to remember the significance of this show, the historical significance of what the Riot and the Ring 2 has to offer. We talked about ROEW, IMF, Home. We talk about TF Crew, certainly your company, NEW, being a part of it, WTW, all these wonderful companies, and I know I'm missing a couple here, but you and Doc Holliday are going to be a match that's going to be in the center of it. It's a generational match. It's for a championship, and it's at a show. It's almost like, to me, this is June Madness. Everybody right now is talking about filling out their bracket, but to me, this is like June Madness, and you have an opportunity. You talk about, Jay, you want to steal the show with Gabe. You talk about stealing the show. Every time I have you on here, you talk about stealing the show. Well, dude, I think you're going to do that here and some with Doc Holliday because of just what's on the line and who it is and just how many people are going to be watching this.
I agree. I think that we both bring something special and different to the table, and just being able to see this really, I'm not trying to be cliche, but like once in a lifetime match. It
is a once in a lifetime match. There's no guarantee this is going to happen again. We're considering his stage in his career, and you don't know. I think it's a very fair statement. There's no cliche to me.
Yeah, I mean, never say never, kid, right? But regardless, it's something that you're not probably going to see ever again. Two of the best wrestlers going head to head, along with all the other amazing matches that's still yet to be announced. I mean, we have Mage from GTS versus Reyes Silver.
I saw that. Yep.
King Shock versus Joe Star. We have
yeah,
with Mistress, Hiroshima, and Onyx. I mean, like, you don't see these matches. These matches more than likely will never happen again. No. I'll say 98% of these matches that are going to be announced, you won't see these matches happen again.
No. I think it's just really changing the game. I think that what you have done with everybody and all the talent that's involved in this, I think it's a tremendous amount of respect that we have here on the platform, and we're certainly very honored to be a part of it. Please go to the NEW Instagram, YouTube, Facebook pages, Patreon, subscribe, and just, I can't wait to talk about the Riot in the Ring. I know I'm going to talk about it here in a few more minutes, but let me come back to some more people in the chat. What's the thing he uses all day? Yeah, we'll leave that at that. Jake, don't go heel on me. Is Joe and Shima the new power couple of NEW? Well, I mean, I think it was referenced already on one of the vortexes that they were best friends. They were longtime friends. So, I'm not going to go there. But Joe Starr said very funny. And yeah, Zilla and Cash Carter have quite the relationship or whatever you want to call it there. And she definitely appreciates him, we can say. Il Drago, who was here Sunday, wanted to say, how is everybody doing? And he's got his own hardcore match coming up this Saturday against Ox McCoy, man, that's going to be here in the Riot in the Ring, too. And yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. But I think Il Drago can handle hardcore maybe a little more than Joe Stark because he's a Samoan dragon. He's a high chief. And, but we'll go with that. Yep. How you doing, Abram Storm? The list was definitely, that'll be an Instagram clip up later. You mark my words. I wouldn't quite say it was a public burial of Joe Starr. I think I walked short of that, but unlike prior guests that came on here in the past, but yeah, we'll say that I would say maybe not. Number 5 is how we got the tag titles. I'm going to leave that at that. What's up, Kyle? Yep, how you doing? Yeah, I thank you for reminding us. Do you know any Russians that have a list so I can put Savage's name on it? I actually know a lot of Russians, and I actually know a few hundred of them at a minimum. So, but I don't know if they're gonna want to get involved with D Savage. But some of them do know the KGB. I am only friends, by the way, with the owner of the largest Russian radio station in the United States of America. But I would rather not ask him about this because then he'll keep me on the phone for 3 hours. So let's leave it at that. What does he swallow? Next question. Your boy is one match away from being the number 1 contender in TPW. Love that. I think I'll guarantee there's nobody that knows as many Russians as I do. We're going to leave that at that. I'm making a list. There you go. Who else we have here in the chat? He's got good handwriting, giving credit where credit's due. Yeah, your handwriting was good because Joe's, it was like... I couldn't see what he was talking about. That he had like other pages.
Here's the thing: even if you could see it, you wouldn't be able to understand it because I bet you that half of it's misspelled, anyways.
We'll leave that at that. Yeah, we're gonna leave that at that. Thank you, Cash. I think at this point we're way behind on that. We're going to leave that at that. Thank you for that. Thank you for the chat. We're certainly coming up with their own. It is like a version of the wave. Hit NEW's follow button on Instagram. There is a bunch of you out there. Yeah, hello to Shane. I'm rooting for you, Jake. F Gabe. Yeah, well, there you go. Gabe is not here, so that should tell you maybe Gabe is trying to get himself booked with Grim again, but that's okay. I'll let Gabe handle that out. Hello to Abram Storm. He is pumped for the Riot in the Ring. So am I. Speaking of people, James Taylor, of course, ROEW has quite the contingency, and James Taylor is the owner of ROEW, and James will be back on Sportswire later because, of course, James always has to be back on there. Yeah, James always on Sportswire, but no, we love having James on it. I love having James on it, but he'll be back. Trust me. He might even be here Thursday. You'll probably pop in the IMF show. Riot in the Ring is going to be one to remember. I agree. I hope you feel better, and I hope you had a great birthday. I know I'll see you soon on Sportswire, so hang in there. I know a lot of people are getting sick. Man, look at what I invented. I'm happy I created the Riot in the Ring. Not only am I a great guy, and I'm incredibly smart. Yeah, you sound like you should be here on Sportswire. It's time for me to retire. Let me pass the baton to you. I should definitely do that. And
yeah, actually,
why is just
Gabe Sayers this Saturday? He could actually take my spot. Gabe Sayers this Saturday.
And there's Justin Parsley, always making it about Justin Parsley. The last year and a half, it's always about Justin Parsley. There you go. And Il Drago, yeah, I can't wait to see it too. And send the link soon. Yep.
Hopefully he makes the Riot in the Ring all about him if he shows up.
Well, we're almost done with everybody, so let me do that here. Cash doesn't love Zilla like I do. Okay, thank you. Jake, it would be fun as hell. And there you go. See, I did put something out there. Can't wait till June when the Not All Wrestling Matters World Champion, because Soldier's calling himself the Some Wrestling Matters Champion now. So I'm going to leave that at that. But Kron did want to clarify. He wants to have you on. Il Drago. And then Stephen Havoc. There you go. Stephen Havoc is watching. Stephen Havoc obviously turned on Rob O'Malley. That was definitely interesting. I didn't see that one coming. I'm sure that'll be a topic. All Wrestling Matters. When I'm in the ring, maybe I should go for that title. Well, you know what? That would be interesting. But, speaking of Wrestling That Matters, I know a few people do want to talk to you here. We're going to certainly get to them in a few minutes to put the link out for them. But You did want me to bring up some individual that always gets brought up here, and I still don't know exactly why you want me to bring him up because I don't see him advertised for anything in NEW, and that was first brought up by you 10 months ago, and yes, I'm talking about Anthony Steele, the most controversial figure in maybe wrestling history, certainly in underground wrestling history, a man that is in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame too many times. And for whatever reason, Jake Dvorak, in an unholy-like way, you wanted me to ask you about Anthony Steele, and all I ask you is why?
You know what? I'll switch the question over. Where is Anthony Steele? Where is he? Because as of right now, I have not heard anything from Anthony Steele. He always puts out challenges. He says he's going to show up. Oh, just have your people contact my people. Da 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 da. He's a great talker. Show me what you can do in the ring. Come to Riot in the ring. You don't need a special invite. You don't need your handheld. You don't need red carpets. You don't need anything. Get your ass off your, get your ass on your feet. Go get a job. Get the money. Travel here to Riot in the ring, and then we'll meet in the ring face to face.
Now, I would have an answer partially to what you're saying as to why Anthony isn't here. Well, he's now doing promo wrestling. He's now he's doing the John Cena route. He's working his way up the ladder in promo wrestling. He's decided that, because everybody seems to be talking about John Cena on Facebook. And I have no idea why. I still am kind of confused on that, but I'll leave that at that. I don't want to ask my friends Rhino and Savio Vega about John Cena. That's the last thing I want to do. But Anthony Steele, the reason he's not here is that he's trying to get himself back at the top of the ladder in promo wrestling. So that's what he's doing. He's doing promo wrestling. That's why I can tell you he's not here. And why he may not be in Massachusetts.
He's afraid of stepping in the ring, like an actual ring against Jake Dvorak. And you know what? If I was Anthony Steele, I would be afraid of stepping in the ring with me as well, too.
Not like challenging James Taylor. It's not like him challenging Justin Parsley, or it's not like that for him. So maybe he should stay in the promo wrestling world. You think maybe that's where he should stay? And just
at this point, if he's not going to show up, if he's not going to, put in any effort, he can stay safe. He can stay in his house, flip on his camcorder, record a promo for about 3 to 4 minutes, do some cool editing, upload it to Instagram.
Well, it's funny you said that, because I heard the week prior he lost his promo wrestling match because he forgot to do it. He forgot to do it the right date.
But here's the thing. If he shows up, he's going to lose here too. So,
so maybe that he should stick. So you really are telling me that he should stick to promo wrestling. He should stick to doing the John Cena, because this is, like John Cena, this is his last year in wrestling, in promo wrestling. So he's trying to go out on top, win one more championship. And here in Massachusetts, with the people that are already announced, I mean, there's no way he would fit in and say, that's what I do. And, he should really just figure out it. And who's in TPW, he can have a match with. Remy Roberts is here. And, there's Nathaniel Rage and all the people. He and James Taylor can promo wrestle it up one more time and TPW. Perfect. So this is not going to work for him then, basically.
I don't think so, Tom. I mean, what does he need to show up? Does he need the red carpet? Does he need someone to hold his hand, give him a piggyback ride? I mean, hop on Soldier GP, Ox McCoy, hell, hop on back of Justin Parsley.
Justin Parsley's back would break. Come on, bro. Have you seen how tall Anthony Steele is? If he went on the back and rode Justin Parsley's back, Justin Parsley would almost be roadkill. That's not going to happen. I can tell you, Justin Parsley's like this, Anthony Steele's like this. I mean, that's not going to happen. Now, Ox McCoy, Omen Black, his brothers in the House of Wolves. All right, maybe I could see where you're going with that, but he ain't riding Justin Parsley's back. That back ain't going to go too far. Listen, it's going to break. It's going to it'll literally break, figuratively and literally.
That's fair. Okay, scratch that one.
So Steele he shouldn't be here. He shouldn't show up for this. This is not where he should be a part. He should figure out something more.
I don't think he would show up. I mean, even if he belonged here, he still wouldn't show up. He likes to talk. I see a lot more talking than wrestling. So
he's been doing a lot of promo wrestling recently. He's been in a trios match.
He's a great talker. I'll give him that.
And I heard, by the way, that the match he lost in promo wrestling, where he forgot to upload it correctly, is actually going to be a guest of mine coming this Saturday. You probably heard of Lyra Limber. Again, you probably don't know much about Lyra Limber, but you've heard the name. And that was the person that defeated Anthony Steele in pro wrestling, because Anthony was here on Sportswire and got the dates mixed up.
Well, Anthony Steele, I never said Anthony was the smartest one out there. So, I was just hoping that he would show up and wrestle. But at this point, I think he'll forget the date. He'll probably come here next year.
I see. So he'll think it's June 23rd and the 24th rather than the 21st.
Exactly. He'll show up on Monday when no one's here.
Well, now what would happen? I mean, if he showed up, I mean, funny. That almost like that Fresh Prince at the closing where Will's there and there's like nothing there, and and they're in the big mansion. So like maybe Anthony, if he shows up here, so if he shows up on the 23rd, there'll be nothing there in Worcester. There'll be no ring. There'll be nobody. So like, what would happen? I mean, what would we see or say to him? What would happen?
It depends if he has enough money to get back home.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he's going to be looking at
let's put it this way, without naming names. One time there was people that traveled here back in the day, back in 2019, where they traveled here pretty far away, and they didn't help take down the ring.
Okay.
They left, then they came back 5 minutes later as we were still taking down. Instead of helping, they asked if they could borrow any money to get back home.
No, stop. That's not true. They didn't do that. No, really. You're ribbing us. They didn't do that.
No, they did. This was 2019, and anyone, I'm sure if Power Search is listening or when he watches this later or whoever else, the originals will remember who this is. And actually, I think...
Did you treat that person like Ox McCoy should have with that fan that interrupted his match?
No. I mean, everyone just kind of said no, and I don't know how he found his way back home, but he did. So apparently, he didn't need that much money. But
that was a story that if you're listening and watching this, help set up the ring, and maybe you could go home, or maybe just show up early. But apparently, I have received word that somebody does want to talk to you. It's not Anthony Steele, and there's a few people that want to, but in the interest of time, I'm going to bring this first person, only if you insist, though. I realize that this is your show. It's your spotlight. So I just want to ask you before I bring this individual on.
Wouldn't it be funny if I actually said no?
I always wait for somebody to say that. I actually wait.
Nah. Let's make this.
I think Mr. Judgment was here years ago, and not to go down that road again, but I remember when Omen and Soldier came on and met him, it was kind of like, he was kind of like, no. And I just like, yeah, I brought him on, and, it was kind of weird. It's okay now. Everybody's good, in DBW and IMF, but it took a long time to, let's just say, mend fences. But this person, you could say no to them. I'm sure they would take it nicely. They'd take it kind.
Well, I have a feeling I know who this kid is, but yeah, bring him in.
Well,
Kid?
Oh, wow. Actually, you know what? It's much better than I thought it was, because I thought it was somebody that don't know how to spell, that there's 5 reasons on why I'm better than him. So my apologies.
Oh no, I'm not Joe Star or Silver Wolf or none of those fucking.
I wouldn't put Silver Wolf and Joe Star in the same sentence. That is a little unfair. Way unfair. Oh, with all due respect. Very unfair. Joe Star is a good man.
When have I ever been respectful, Tom?
But Joe Star's in the chat though, and he's the NEW Northeast champion, and he's pinned Gabe Sayers, by the way. He has pinned him multiple times.
I mean, is that a thing now? Is that like, woo? Well, he did it, woo?
He did, yeah. And James Taylor and Anthony Steele couldn't do that. I mean,
No, Jake, you kind of hurt my feelings. I thought we were best friends. You're like, oh, I like Omen for now. Whoa.
Hey, you never know nowadays if you're gonna join and then go ahead and just go into shit talking me. So I gotta keep my eyes peeled.
Jakey, it's me, Omen, your best friend.
Hey, what's somebody said that they have a proposition for you for riding the ring. I don't know what's going on. So
I want you to know,
okay,
that the IMF World Champion has got your back at the Ride in the Ring. No matter what, I got your back.
You do?
You're my best friend, Jake.
I appreciate that. You know what? If there's anything I could do for you, Omen Black, let me know.
Yeah, actually, you know what? There is one thing you can do for me, actually. You need to get with your management or whoever's running right in the ring, and they need to get off their fucking ass and let me know what the hell I'm doing.
That's a great question.
Saying this like on like social media or like behind the scenes? You not honestly have you not heard what you're gonna be doing?
Hey, you know what?
There's some people that just removed recently because they just don't know how to say anything. And you're a quiet man.
You know what? I appreciate that, Jake. But you know what? I just want to know what I'm doing. So management or whoever's booking the card, just I'll pull the Anthony Steele card. Contact my team and will let me know.
All right, Owen Black. You know what? I'll try my best to convince Power Surge to let you know what you are going to do at Riot in the Ring Day 1 as soon as possible.
There you go. By the way, Jake, I also my real proposition with you is, see, I remember last year you guys introduced some tag titles. Ring any bell? See, my thing is, Jake, we're best friends, and truly, the two people who deserve to hold those titles are the best friends in this company. Me and you, Jakey.
So you want to go for the NEW tag team titles?
No. The All Wrestling Matters tag titles.
Well,
Obviously, Jake, I can't be there every month or every week to defend the tag titles with you.
Listen, there's a certain person that's a part of a Carnage Cup that you would have to get a hold of because we introduced the Hardcore Championship.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that guy. Whack 10, right? That guy.
Well, did you talk about the rapper? Well, no, that's two different people.
No, Tom. Jake knows what I'm talking about. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. He was in the Carnage Cup. You know this. That was his key to fame, Carnage Cup. Even though he's probably there to clean up the glass after, but he was there.
That's a hard job. I mean, that's a hard job, I would suppose.
Yeah, Gums McGee, Whack 10. He was there.
How about this? How about we create All Wrestling Matters tag team titles and we'll just name ourselves the champions like all these other people do? How about we hold
Justin Parsley and Anthony Steele formed a team and never tagged together?
Do not bring that name up, Tom.
Well, which one?
You bring up Anthony Steele all you fucking want, but do not bring up Justin Parsley.
How about that? When we bring his name up, we'll go like this.
Or we just call him Pussy. Either one.
That's
a good idea, Jake. You know, let's get some titles and let's just see who think they can take on the likes of me and you.
Yeah, exactly. How about Tom? Maybe you can come challenge us for it. You find a tag team partner.
If I'm signing my death certificate away, you want to be the beneficiary? Is that what it is? You want to be the beneficiary of my finances. So if you
I would be okay with that, Tom.
I'm sure you would. I mean, but I don't think the chat wants to see that. But I mean, apparently,
Jake, let's be honest. No one's going to challenge us. No one can do what you do. No one can do what I do.
That's what I do. That's what you do. That's what you do.
You, and Ox McCoy are the sickest, demented sons of bitches in the underground right now.
I 100% agree with that.
And I guess Gabe Sayers, when his heart allows it.
By the way,
Gabe Sayers is only one of those guys when he steps in the ring with me, you, and so we won't put Gabe Sayers in that list.
Fair enough. Get out of here.
Well, I actually just wanted to remind you of who he was.
Tom, I literally just talked to you about. This is typical Tom Bryce with his shoot journalism.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to clown college next. And House of Cholesterol. Yeah, we'll leave that at that. And apparently, this individual is certainly trying to make it about himself. He is definitely trying to make it.
I was going to go. If that's the case, I'd just go the route that Jake Dvorak's been going with Gabe Sayers. Call you a dickhead because that's all you get is a dickhead.
Well, maybe this guy won't show up. Maybe he's the guy that Jake has been talking about that won't show up in the Riot in the Ring. Mr. Block, it's your platform, and obviously Jake has talked about people that he doesn't think will show up. Is that the guy that's one of those names he's thinking of?
Unfortunately, no, Tom.
But
Justin Parsley.
The way you said that, I'm not convinced. You definitely think he's one of the guys.
No, because unfortunately, he's gonna show his fucking pond scum, white trash ass at Ryan the Ring. Because lately, he's been on this thing where he says he's gonna be somewhere and he shows up.
Now, James has a name though for that individual. He's calling him Kyle Reese of the Terminator fame. Yeah, that'll work.
It's like the 10th time I've heard this. It has to be true.
I don't know. I don't know.
But you know, Jake, I don't want to steal your spotlight, man. You know, you're my best friend. I care about you. You have all the spotlight to yourself. But I just wanted to come on here and.
But we're closing the show soon. I mean, you know, we are.
I had to threaten a janitor just to get that message on here.
Well, I mean, you are going to be here Thursday. Maybe you were just showing around, Jake, and you know, obviously you're going to be here Thursday. You're going to talk plenty. I know at the House of Wolves, and you're going to be here, and I'm sure Anthony will be here, and I have no doubt that Soldier GP will be here, and you know, before you go though, Omen, there is a fellow that wants to meet you that I'm surprised that you weren't on his list, and wait a minute.
Oh God.
Joe Starr's here, the man famously with the list who will be in the Hall of Fame for the list. And Joe, Omen Black is here. It's his show. Now, you know I love you, Joe. And I was wondering, is this a name that you wanted on your list also?
Who knows? Anybody could be on the list at this point. Everybody's making their own list.
You don't want to put me on that
but
list.
You're revolutionary, Joe.
You know, the funny thing is, Jake, if I swallow, then hey, what you do? You just blow, man. I know you just blow. But
you know, you had about an hour and 30 minutes to think of something better than that, and that's the best that you came up with. That's honestly sad.
Honestly, sad, just like how everything goes in your life. Probably. But
what are you even trying to say, Joe? Somebody, Omen, do you speak Spanish?
No, I don't.
Tom, Spanish.
I don't speak idiot either.
Well, if you guys don't know, then
technically, I mean, I took Spanish in junior high and high school, so some words I
okay, there's a comment that says, "Bro, Joe came on here just to say he swallows."
No, he didn't. He said that. No, he didn't. I know he
very
didn't.
funny.
I know you didn't, and I know you're getting ready for Saturday, but I know that you did want to introduce.
It has to be real. Look, it's on the list. It has to be real.
I know you did want to introduce.
Just to put my name on the list, like wow, former Flatter and Entertainment.
Why I'm better than you? There's 5. I even cut it down to numbers that you can count to.
Why is
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't have to go to 6 because I know that's when it gets a little bit hard for you. But 5 reasons.
Ooh, good. You could even put more on there if you want to, but hey, who cares?
Talk about Manu.
Well,
who the fuck let this motherfucker in?
Joe realizing this 3 minutes later. Hi, Tyson Spade.
Hey, what's up, Jake?
Living the dream. Well, I'd say living the dream. But
I figured, you know what, Omen? I know it's your show, but I figured some of the guys in NEW wanted to meet you. They wanted to introduce themselves to you. And I know we're going to close the show anyway. It is your show, and I figured that Tyson Spade and
well,
yes,
tonight it's my best friend's show. It's Jake's show tonight.
Well,
I appreciate
that's true, but it's your platform. How about that? But Mr. Spade and Mr.
Lucky
Starr,
that I allowed them on the show.
Well, Mr. Spade and Mr. Starr wanted to introduce themselves to you, and they had, I know, a few things to say before we left, and I know Joe's got plenty that he's working on.
I got one thing to say to the Tyson Spade. I'm pulling for you. All right, I'm pulling for you. That right in the ring. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I'm pulling for you, kid. So don't let me down. Or else.
Thank you. I know. I'm right in the ring. I'm going to win.
Well, you know, Omen, there's somebody else, though. Omen, there is somebody else. I'm going to let Mr. Starr, Mr. Spade go in a couple minutes. There is actually somebody that I actually need you to stay on for. It's actually going to be, let's just say,
I swear to God, Tom, you bring on Justin Parsley.
It's not Justin Parsley. I will actually, listen, Mr. Black, I will tell you this with a straight face. Justin Parsley is not the person I'm talking about. This is a person you've never met before. This is a person that...
Good.
It's new. It's definitely somebody that I actually think when you meet this person, it's going to be worth your time. But I know Joe and Tyson, I love you guys both. Do you guys have any final words for this Saturday? Anything you guys want to say for your opponents, Leonidas, and for you, Joe Star, Power Surge, where
Thank you.
you could potentially end his career?
So pretty
I'll
much.
just say this: Joe Star sucks.
Wow, and he just left. Okay,
And he
Mr.
running
Star.
like a bitch that he always been.
It
But
was a good Godsmack song, but was crying like a fill in the blanks. But go ahead, Joe.
you know, whatever I have to get done to get Power Surge to end his career, you know, for me, it's hard for me to say that because me and him,
You have
we
a
kind of
respect.
have this respect.
I did
But
see that in the final words. Yep.
but right now, I'm pretty much watching his matches right now. So at least I could just like get more of an advantage than what he does.
We talked about that with Jake. That's good that you're studying, and obviously it's a man that has quite a resume, and I think that
I got a
that's going to
question,
help. You.
Tom.
Yes, sir.
Can you put subtitles on? Because I don't understand what the fuck he's saying.
I actually heard it, Joe. I heard you. That's the only thing.
At least probably they comparing me to John Cena with the invisible joke. Wow.
Oh, well,
Never
you
heard
know
of
what?
that before.
You are well. You know
No.
what? You are my Puerto Rican John Cena. So don't you worry, Joe Star. You are my Puerto Rican John Cena. You are right up there
But-
with Savio Vega.
You're right. Jake,
But
you're absolutely right.
But all I have to say is this Saturday, I'll end Power Surge's career, and then I'll be coming after Jake for my title. But for all this, I'll let you go and probably, hey, maybe it'll be an interesting thing to go against you. But we'll see about that because I already up one up on you.
Well, Joe, I can't wait to have you back here after season finale. I'm going to put you in the Hall of Fame, and we're going to certainly put the list in the Hall of Fame. And, I love
Yes.
you, Joe. You're right up there with Darkron and Sean Jovi, and that's what counts. So don't you worry, Joe. I'm pulling for you. You got a big, tall, tough task on your hand this Saturday, and we're going to talk about it regardless. And thank you, Joe, for all you do. And I'm going to tell Savio Vega that you should certainly put his name on that list because I would love to see you and Savio Vega in the Battle of Puerto Rico.
You'll never know.
I'll talk to him about it.
Yeah.
I will. Joe, thank you so much for all you do for us. And I will see you, my good friend, soon.
All right. See you, Tom.
My Puerto Rican dream, my Puerto Rican John Cena, and the star of the show, the NEW Northeast champion, Joe Star, who's on my list. And
Okay.
that's
All right, be real. He's gone now. Did you really understand a word he was fucking saying?
I did. You know what? I tell you what I did. See, I'm from the friendly confines of Brooklyn. I have a lot of friends who are Hispanic, so I do speak a little Spanish. And Joe, I heard him loud and clear. And Joe is going to prove all of this. He's using this as motivation for Saturday. Joe and I were speaking about this, and Joe said that he will certainly use it. But Omen, I'm not going to waste your time. It's your show. It's Jake's show. But the NEW undisputed champion wanted to.
Hey, yo, Omen.
Mr. Savage.
Oh, Jake. At least we can read your handwriting.
It was pretty
My
well
man.
done. The
I
writing's
don't even
good.
need my glasses. Omen, I'm hearing you need something to do with the riot.
I do.
They haven't even announced me yet. So how about this? How about I extend the challenge right here, right now, man to man? Omen Black and D Savage at Riot in the Ring 2. Only happening at the Riot in the Ring 2. First ever, only time ever.
You know what? Gladly. You know why? Because you're a world champion.
Oh, I'm undisputed champion. Let's
I know you
get this.
corrected me on that.
I'm sick of people trashing championship by getting the name wrong.
Okay,
Undisputed.
my bad. You're a champion. I'm a world champion. So why not Riot in the Ring? A friendly bout between champions.
An exhibition, you might want to say. I like the idea of an exhibition between champions.
That's interesting. Because I think we should just put both belts on the line, winner take all. You're a traveling guy.
I think that's a
traveling
great
guy.
idea. That's an
I'm a
excellent
traveling
idea.
guy. When I go somewhere, when I say I'm going to go somewhere, I go somewhere. I'm not like the rest of these bums.
You do travel. I mean, I've seen you in
Yeah.
Battlefield Pro Wrestling of all places with the Inoue family. Yeah. I mean,
Well, Mr. Savage, and you should know exactly that I'm that same guy. Wherever I say I'm going to go, I'm going to be there. Hell,
Real
I just
recognize
showed
real,
some
baby.
schmucks in Indiana this past weekend that I was going to be there when they want to run their mouth and say they're going to meet me in a dark alley or meet my friends in a dark alley. So,
Wow.
Mr. Savage, Gladly. I will put up my world title on the line.
Listen, the only people in the dark alley is probably Joe, because he came on here literally to say he swallowed.
Joe's okay.
and
Joe's
said,
okay in my book.
Bye.
Joe's okay.
Jake, listen, you have a four condo inside that dude's head, and you live there rent free. So just know that if
At least the rent's cheap.
yeah, I mean, goddamn, Joe, learn some English, my guy.
He's
I had to
gonna
come on
use
here
that
and
for
save
Saturday.
you. I'm like, bro, we need to get Joe the hell out of here.
Joe is a good man. Joe's a good
I
Ratings
think
man.
were
there's going to be
plummeting.
5 more reasons on that list.
But you know
They
what?
said we can't pay for Rosetta Stone.
But I'll tell you what, enough about that. I would love to see D Savage and Omen Black in a battle of champions, winner takes all. The NEW Undisputed Championship and the IMF World Title between two men right now that certainly reign supreme in all of wrestling. I mean, why not?
I don't even care to ask IMF manager because, I'm kind of like the face that runs the place now. I'm the world champion. So really they should be asking me, hey, are you sure you want to do this? No problem. I will put my world title on the line, no matter what they say.
There's 3 things in this life that are guaranteed: taxes, death, and me and Omen Black having a unification match at Riot in the Ring 2, baby.
Wow, you know what? I would love to see that. I mean, that would be a dream match. Let's do it. I mean, I don't know how that would be feasible with both camps, but why
Tom,
not?
you don't got to worry about it. It's going to happen.
That'd be great.
You're looking at 2 of the guys. Well, Jake travels too, so you're looking at 3 of the top traveling guys here. We're going to make it happen.
Well, I would love to see that. I think that
Unfortunately, there's some more like fucking Soldier, GP, and Present Parsley, but I'm not going to mention those names out loud.
Anthony Steele's here. He would like to call himself out there, but Anthony Steele seems like he's not going.
He has a mid-card belt. Who cares?
He's actually no.
The undisputed and the world champion.
Well, he's actually doing the John Cena in promo wrestling. We gave him the link, by the way, but he's quiet tonight. But he's trying the John Cena. He's got 1 more year in promo wrestling. He's going up
wrestling, that confusing bitch.
Well, he's trying he wants to win 1 more world title in promo wrestling. That's why he's not going to be there in June.
Do you get to hold a belt in promo wrestling? Like, can you actually get the belt?
You hold the belt.
They mail it to you.
No, you can purchase the belt. You can hold it just like any other championship belt. And you have to go out and defend it every week. And Anthony Steele is on his way to being the John Cena of promo wrestling. And he wants 1 more championship. And that would be why he's not going to be there in June.
Oh, my God. He can't film a video. Jake, listen, I think you should one-up him. Do Riot in the Ring both days. And then you just film a promo.
It's funny you said that because Chase
we
Wakefield
got
at his event is having a promo wrestling match live. So are you saying that Anthony Steele should have a promo wrestling match at the Riot in the Ring?
Oh snap!
Listen, if he's that good,
Star,
be able to do it.
Don't do it.
Promo off.
No,
Joe Star.
No, don't do it.
Oh God!
Yeah, him and Joe Star, baby.
Match.
Well, that might be a Clash of the Titans to famously quote the tour between Metallica, Anthrax, Megadeth, and Slayer, but I don't think I'm going to be being a man in the box for that, or maybe some divine intervention will help. But, I mean, that's what could happen. Maybe Anthony Steele in a promo wrestling match. That would be a great idea.
I mean, guaranteed things that happen. Well, no, not even that, because he forgot to do one last time. So, I mean, even at that point, I don't know if that match will ever happen.
Well, apparently, though, your opponent this Saturday claims you're not making it, though.
Oh,
well, he's not making anything, especially his girlfriend getting the shit.
I'm going to say that I'm going to leave that between you two. And Joe Starr said, go buy a translator, Mr. Pro. Okay, I mean.
Well, Joe, he can't fucking read. He can't write.
And James Taylor did want to chime in. It's funny that Anthony wants to be a world champion in promo wrestling. He can't even get a match against the champion himself like I did this past weekend. Not only that, but I beat Nathaniel Rage. And he says Anthony Steele should keep dreaming. Do you think he's dreaming about being in the Riot in the Ring? Is that what James is saying, that Anthony Steele is dreaming to be in the Riot in the Ring?
I can only imagine, like, being a world champion in a promo wrestling league, and you go buy a belt from Toys R Us or Walmart, whatever you get the W.
Is Toys R Us still around though? Didn't they file for bankruptcy, Toys R Us?
whichever. You go buy a WWE ripoff replica, like a phone bell from as kids.
I have
You're
one
like,
hanging
what's
up
that
in my
for? Is
room.
that for your little brother? No,
hanging
that's
up.
my promo bell.
I have the John Cena one hanging up in my room still.
That
I
belt
think
right
we should
behind you,
have-
Tom. That'd be a good promo belt. Oh,
We
what's
should
that belt
have the
from? Is
all
that your little
wrestling-
brother's belt? No, it's my belt. I wanted talking shit online.
Listen, we
Oh,
need to have
man.
the All Wrestling Matters promo championship. When is that?
Boom. My man, this is why he's at the top of the game.
Il Drago said he'll make it, by the way. So maybe Il Drago instead of still. Omen, we don't want you to mention that name, right? Because you obviously had another name you
God,
want.
all these fucking foundation members are showing up to riot.
Oh, Sane wants the link. Sane wants to join.
I'll give him the
we
link. All right. You want me to give him the
We
link?
don't
I'll give him the link.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll give him the link.
Oh,
I
no.
gave Anthony the link. He didn't show up. I'll give Justin Abel saying I'll be happy to give him the link if you like. I mean, maybe he wants to meet Omen Black. He might
I
like
think
to
that's
meet.
what it is. I think that's what it is. He
I
wants.
mean-
Omen, are you
Yeah.
signing autographs tonight? By the way, Omen, are you doing that?
There's not enough money in the world for me to sign an autograph.
Do you want me to sign this, Tom? And I'll send it to you.
How much is? I'll pay you for it. I'll make sure to pay you for it.
You know what? It's because it's you. It's for free. I'll send it
Oh,
to
that
you.
was very kind of you. I did send you the link on Instagram, Mr. Slane, if you wanted the link.
Tom,
You got
I want to tell you
Yes,
this. The
Yes,
last
sir.
time someone asked me to sign an autograph, it was a dumb kid. Hey, can you sign my forehead? All right, sure. What's your name? He's like, Kevin. I spelled it C-U-N-T and left him. Like, I left him there.
Well, what about that fan that you had a conversation with at the last show? Did he want an autograph too?
All right, so that guy, I had to have scared the life out of him or pissed because right after I got done talking with him, he ran to the bathroom. And I told him, if I see you near that ring again, I'm going to break your fucking neck in front of everyone.
That was kind. That was pretty kind.
And then I wasn't good enough. So as I was going on to my match, I smacked the taste out of his mouth.
Wow. It was
Good.
tasty. Very tasty. It was tasty.
Dude, I want to go where I can hit the fans.
It's a
Hey.
I'm an IMF,
and
baby.
I'm wearing
You
a
heard it here
foundation shirt,
first.
you know why? Because I needed a good laugh. Like, oh, this is a fucking joke. That's why I'm wearing it. I was feeling down today and you wanted to wear a little.
You're a world champion. Why are you feeling down before we sign off? Why are you feeling?
Because I had to waste my time this weekend wrestling in front of scum in Palo, Iowa.
You're wrestling
in front of
Felix
fans
Jones is going to be in the
who are
riot.
trash.
Felix Jones is going to be there. You're wrestling him.
Again, trash. Just like his
All right.
two dads.
Hey, yo, he's got two dads?
It's a
Well,
whole
let's
deal.
not explain it. Yeah, sort of. It's what it is. But all right. So I think we've obviously got the point. Omen Black and D Savage, I hope get a chance to meet each other for unifying these two championships. Winner
You don't need
takes
to
all.
hope. You don't need to
Tom.
hope, Tom. It's happening.
If it don't happen, let God strike me
I already
down
have management
right
blowing up my
now.
phone. Oh, you can't do this. You can't do this. Oh, too fucking bad.
I actually believe that. I actually do believe that because management allowed me to speak with Il Drago about that fan. So I actually could see management.
And then I have Soldier GP messaged me. I don't know how.
Wait a minute, though. But you know what? Before we go,
I hope
It's
you lose your
confirmed.
title.
it's confirmed. Savage versus Omen.
I'm going to get with that bitch to make the match card.
Savage versus Omen. There you go. I mean,
Winner take all. First time. IMF, NEW.
and by the way, I do have somebody that does want to say something to you, Mr. Savage, and I'm going to let him on here.
No.
Oh, would you look at that? Would you
Oh.
look at that?
Hold up. Saying 3 seconds. Over
There
on
we
Jake.
go. I got my
3
audio
words
going.
before he fucks it up.
Hey, you hear me? I'm coming in clear? Awesome.
Yelling at me.
First things first. Hi, Owen Black. Nice to meet you. I've heard many great things about you. Looking forward to working with you in the ride in the ring. Getting to know you a little bit.
Duh.
Second of all, what's up, Jake?
What's up?
You got something good going? Barbed wire death match against no ropes, no nothing. Looking forward to that. So, my good friend D Savage. Oh man, you've been ducking my calls left and right. I think I gotta drive my way down to Pennsylvania, give you a piece of my mind. Look at you, bobbing and weaving, but you're in front of the boxing bag. You're gonna be in front of a boxing bag this Saturday at the season finale. Oh, you've set me on a path, man. I'm only on stage 2 right now. Stage 2 is anger. I'm pissed. I'm angry. You know what you did to me? You know what you did to me. You got that dumb looking smile on your face. Oh, I got her bag still in my room. I don't know where she is now. She ran off. She's so embarrassed after everything that happened. She's Savage. You're making all these plans for Riot in the Ring about how you want to face off against Omen Black unification match. You're not going to make it to Riot in the Ring because this Saturday I'm ending your NEW career because it won't be me saying that I quit. It'll be you that quits. You can bet on that. He interrupted my workout just for this too.
I thought you were in the bathroom.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
He's going to
That
go
was
back to
Xavier
curling
Thorne.
his 5-pound
That was
dumbbell.
Xavier Thorne. This is Justin Abel saying he's a Cambodian war machine. He does things differently. Please.
Only quiet place in the gym I can get some peace and quiet. If I could break into their office, I would, but that would be implicated on camera.
Yeah, we don't want you to happen what Joe Starr and Tyson Spade had a few weeks ago. That's a good idea. Appreciate that.
Only
Well,
criminal
same.
charge I need is attempted for what I'm going to do to Savage, but go ahead, Savage.
Yeah. Thank you, Brent,
Saying
for that. We appreciate
That was a lot of words, and too bad I wasn't listening. So I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. If you think you're going to drive down here to Pennsylvania, ask Jake how well that worked out the last time. What'd you leave, 4 or 5 hours late? So I'm sure by the time you get down here, I'll be at work. And then, as far as knowing where your girlfriend is, I don't fucking know where she's at either. So if you find out, you let me know. Because I got something to tell her. I'm not going to tell everybody on the line. But
appreciate
she might
that.
want to go get some stuff. So, anyway, Omen, I can't wait to see you at Riot in the Ring. We're unifying these belts. Don't listen to Sane. He's retarded. Jake, I'm rooting for you against Gabe. Because I think if you beat Gabe, you should be #1 contender for the NEW Undisputed Championship.
I like what you're thinking, man. I'm picking
I'm a
up what
very-
you're putting down.
Look at him ducking. Unbelievable.
And
Well, you
Justin
don't have
Abel
that
saying,
responsibility anymore, Justin. That's up to Power Surge.
and Justin, it's been real, it's been fun, but it hasn't been real fun.
Hey, you know what? Go ahead and call out of work, because Justin Sane's calling you out, baby. Oh, okay, you ran.
He ran, and
Typical. It's just like those people from Pennsylvania, always running when the going gets tough. All right. Listen, I appreciate the opportunity to come on the show. I won't keep you guys on.
We're going to
Owen,
end
Jake,
soon anyway,
Tom,
yeah.
Thanks for having me. See you around.
That was the Cambodian war machine, Justin Abel Sane, and the surprises keep coming, and there's one more surprise before we go.
My God, Jake, I just want to come in here and talk to you real quick now. All these people want to come meet me.
They wanted to meet you, but some of them wanted your autograph. Maybe some of them didn't. But there is one more surprise that we're waiting for before we sign off. Who has to get their 2 cents in?
I swear to God. Oh, my dirty told you.
I'm telling you that this is not Justin Parsley, but I'm telling you that this will be somebody that has plenty to say in a very bit of time. And why James Taylor again is talking about Kyle Reese, not Justin Parsley, just making sure. And there's a man in the bathroom. Yeah, we're gonna leave that at that. We'll leave that at that. But we're waiting for this.
I mean, he's got a point. There's a man yelling in a locker room talking about dudes swallowing something. It's not a good look.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna leave that at that. People have their obviously their ideas.
No wonder his girlfriend's not around.
You know what? Well, you're gonna meet the man in June. Maybe you'll meet the girlfriend as well. Maybe you'll meet the missus.
Well, good old party, Omen.
There's a line now, according to Mr. Sane. There's a line now. No line.
That's unfortunate.
Well, I guess obviously. So, anything else you gentlemen want to say before we sign off and allow this person to get their 2 cents in, literally before we go, because we're waiting.
Well, it's my episode. I don't want them on.
You don't want this. All right. So this person that wants to come on, this one you don't want them on. I want to let that person know that if they're not here in 60 seconds, they're not getting on here. So I want to confirm that for that person that wants to come on here tonight, you've got now 50 seconds. So we're counting down here. We're actually counting down. So right now, I'm going to time it at 1:54:15. If you're not on this link by 1 hour, 54 minutes and 15 seconds, no mas for you. You're not on tonight. So you got now 25 seconds. If you're not on here in now 22 seconds, we're all waiting anxiously. You got 17, 16 seconds. So the clock is ticking on you. So, I mean, we got to go. We got to wrap it up here. We're going to want to pay those.
I just want to say this. You're probably confusing the hell out of Joe Starr. He's like, that's not how you count. You're going down. You need to go up.
Well, I mean, obviously this person's not, the time is short. So obviously the time is expired. So I'm going to allow Jake to say final thoughts tonight. And that's it. Because this person who wanted to come on, they're not coming on because the time is expired on them. So Jake, the show is yours.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Darn.
And there goes my night. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody tune in for season 6 finale this Saturday. Tune in for Riot in the Ring, where I hope people will actually show up. Tune in for that to see Omen Black beat up D Savage and win the undisputed championship of our own company. And yeah, I mean, what else more can I say?
Well said. And
there is one line I would like to just point out.
Facts.
I'm gonna say Joe's back on here after season finale, and I'm going to say that yeah, we're gonna leave that at that. But certainly, this individual, unfortunately, the clock has struck on you. But if you want to follow NEW, and I see a bunch of people that have tuned in, go hit the follow button for them on Instagram, YouTube, and Omen Black will be back here Thursday night. He'll be here Thursday night around the same time, same bat channel, and he'll be talking about a lot in the world of the IMF, which I'm sure will involve the person that, well, they didn't show up tonight, but we thank Mr. Black. Anything you want to say, Omen, before we let you go and see you Thursday and close the show tonight? Anything else you'd like to address to the people?
I want to thank Jake out of everyone for allowing me to come on the show. He didn't have to like this last person, but he allowed me to gracefully come on here and grace Sportzwire with my presence. And I just wanted to say hi to my best friend, but I got struck with all the idiotic behavior from Joe Starr and then Gable thing yelling at me basically in the fucking locker room. But then I get this awesome match with D Savage, and I know Jake, you almost brought a tear to my eye. He's saying that I'm going to beat D Savage. I appreciate the confidence, but I'm just going to show everyone this Saturday why I'm the World Heavyweight Champion in IMF, and when I absolutely decimate Felix Jones yet again and prove to him why he's not a main event guy or yet ready to be world champion.
Well, you know what? It's certainly a big jump from going from CJ Black to Omen Black. I mean, obviously, they might share the same last name, but they're two different wrestlers. But obviously, we'll be looking forward to talking more of that here coming up. And I really should end this show, but this man, you've got like 60 seconds tonight, and you are here. Why?
Still no offer, Jake.
Do it over there. Why is the camera off?
He's very much distraught right now, and he's in a very difficult position. He's upset right now about a number of things.
Still no offer.
What do you mean?
What are you talking?
Still no. NEW has not sent me an offer to come to Riot in the Ring.
Oh, you know what, Anthony Sales, since you want your handheld, look at the group chat in the live chat right now that says, Anthony Steele, come to Riot in the Ring too.
See, look.
That's what I do.
Y'all have waited to last minute. I got a real indie company that wants me to come down when Riot in the Ring is happening. And they've been more professional. You've had so much time to offer Anthony Steele a spot at Riot in the Ring, and yet y'all wasted y'all's opportunity to get me up there. And it's sad. It's very sad because I would have loved to gone face to face with you, but yet your management doesn't know how to do fucking business.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. And, I'll just say womp womp. And maybe I'll see you down the road in Aqua, or maybe since you got the RCEW thing lined up in June instead, maybe I'll.
Well,
See,
well,
Jake. Look, you can't get upset at me. You got to get upset at your management.
Do I look upset? Do I look like a man? The
You
man
see,
at
you should be upset.
RCEW
You
isn't
should
coming
be upset. You should be upset, Jake, for the simple fact that we could have put on a banger at Right of the Ring too. Anthony Steele versus Jake Dvorak would have been a 5-star, shit, a 7-star match. And you should understand that at this point in time in both of our careers, it's been well long overdue. And yet your management couldn't even pull the right strings to contact me beforehand to get me to come to this event to where we can make this possible.
Well, I'll tell you what, Anthony, we're going to certainly continue this conversation a different time. We know you're out and about and you wanted to address this very briefly. I know you'll be here Thursday. We'll have plenty to talk about. We'll mix in some TPW and IMF coverage for you. We thank you for coming in. We're going to close the show out here because we are having a little bit of a trouble hearing you. There's a lot of noise in the background, and the chat is also telling us that they're having a hard time with hearing you. But we know that you're going to be a part of Thursday's show, and I can't wait to see you here and see you back on video, and that's what you do. And we thank you so much, and we thank Omen Black. We thank Jake Dvorak for being so gentlemanly, like and allowing Joe Starr on here, and Tyson Spade, Justin Abelstein, and D Savage's reminder. D Savage and Omen Black, Riot in the ring too. Title for title. That's certainly going to happen. And Anthony, I thank you so much for coming on here, and I'm looking forward to your next TPW match, and I'm looking forward to also this Thursday back here on Sportzwire Radio to have you back home, hopefully on video. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We apologize for Anthony Steele's internet connection. And, Comatose and some of us in the chat were trying to hear Anthony, but we did the best we could. And Steele live from the backseat of a cop car. That was Joe Starr and Tyson Spade's episode. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I'll see everybody Thursday night. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. And until then, please sub to the NEW's Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Patreon pages. IMF's here Thursday. Subscribe to their pages. And we hope to see Anthony in the Riot of the Ring, too. And apparently a fan has said here good night to Anthony and everyone else. And it's what we do here. We let the fans talk. And when the fans talk, they get their opinions. But we've talked, and we got to go. And we'll see everybody on Thursday. And until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Oh, I'm